Okay, everyone, we're going to try and finish up the mid-August feedings. I'm doing some of this by hand. This is the Brachypelma Bobengart Kenny. Hasn't eaten since we put it in this enclosure, so hopefully we'll get it to eat as the cricket goes into the skull. Yep, oh, that's a good hit. That was a heck of a wrestling match there. Upside down, rolled right over. There we are. Perfect start. Let's see what else we got going on. Okay, here's one that should definitely eat. This is one of the 5 Formictopus cancerides, Haitian brown bird eaters. Yep. All 5 of these will eat, I'm sure. All 5 of them will give us a good show on camera. Depending on how good of an angle I have, it's going to depend on how good of an actual show you're going to get. See, he was in the corner, so we didn't really get anything great. So we'll move on to the other 4. Oh, he's coming out now. They're just like every other spider. They enjoy filling their water dish with dirt. At least this one did. The other one didn't here. Still has water in it a little bit, but okay, let's go to the other 4. We're going to see how a worm works with this one. Will it come out? Yes, it will. Okay, so that, I mean, I'm learning these guys as I go. This is only the 2nd time they've been fed since they've been in. You can see he's right there. Some of them like to use their hides, some of them don't. So I'm going to get the ones now in the baseball cubes down. We'll get them fed. We'll try the worms with the other ones too and see how that works out. Okay, here's the 3rd of the 5. Oop, I'm going to lose that. Lose it there too. There we go. Drop it right in them. Yeah, they're taking these little, these are the mini mealworms. They're taking these pretty easily. I think these things are going to grow pretty quick. Come on, come out and show us. These guys are blue like versicolors. Not quite as blue, but pretty blue. Yeah, come on up. Come on, all the way. We get a good dance out of these ones too. Okay, that's 3 out of 5 so far. Okay, here's the 4th one. Let's see if we can get this worm to fall right in front of him. It's right underneath him. I don't think he actually has it. No, we're not climbing out. Where'd your worm go? Worm didn't come out. Nope, you're not crawling out. That's why the worm is still here in the cup. I guess it would help if I actually put its food in there. There we go. Alright, let's move on to the last one. Oop, let's watch him walk. Alright, we're going to put some webbing down. See how the last one does. We're going to get the last one at cricket. Okay, here's the last one. Throwing a cricket in. Man, they are just hammers. I've said before how, you know, there's Blasiodora, Canthoscuria, Geniculata, the what was the other one I was talking about? Oh, the Nandu chromatus, Nandu Colorado villosus. They're very, very food aggressive. I think these Formictopus can be put right up on there on that list as well. So this is only feeding number 2 with them since I've got them, but they have hit things hard and fast both times. Alright, let's get some more stuff down. I tried feeding all 5 Brachypelma vagans, the Brachypelma homori. Those are the very, very, very small slings. None of them ate. I just put in a crushed mealworm for them to scavenge. So the 5 vagans and the 1 homori. I have to do the same with the Brachypelma albiceps. We'll be feeding the Chilobrachys fimbriatus, both of them. I also tried feeding both of the 2 small Ephebopus murinus slings. Neither one of them were interested at all, period. They didn't even move. The murinus number 3, which is the smaller of the 3, not much smaller than number 2, but a little bit smaller. That was the first one that burrowed, but it filled its burrow back in and is now sitting on top of the substrate. So you know, we're going to see how that one does over the course of the next week. If it continues to exhibit that behavior, I'm going to change out the substrate because it's more of a vermiculite mix. So it's a little bit heavy on vermiculite. Maybe it's not really liking it that much. So we'll see how it does. Okay, let's get some more stuff down. Okay, this is Grammostola pulchra. This is one of the guys that's going to go into one of the softball containers. I think it'll be okay in there. I mean, it's not much wider than these deli cups are, but I'm still trying to debate it or put it into one of the Systema containers. I have 3 of them in there that I can fill, so I figured the Brachypelma vagans, possibly this one, the Systema, and then I don't know what the 3rd one will be, but I'm also going to move the Heterothele villicella into one of the softball containers, so I'll free up another one. So I do have the Grammostola rosea and the Brachypelma species Bolivia that can be moved if I need to. I really want to get rid of these last few deli cups, get them into something different so that everything's kind of uniform, and these don't really have a good place to stack. So we're going to throw a cricket in there and see if this one's ready to eat. Oh yeah, it is. So I think it'll be more fun when they're a little bit bigger and I can get a different camera view. And I'm always worried about doing this and then the spider walking off camera like it is right now. So if you zoom in, sometimes you don't actually get the actual attack. So we got the helicopter view going down. So okay, we're going to go with small Brachypelma vagans next. We're going to go with a mealworm with that one, and then we have the Brachypelma species Bolivia, and we're going to try and feed the Grammostola rosea. Not quite sure if it'll eat or not. Okay, so here is one of the Brachypelma vagans. We're going to try a waxworm actually and see if it might have interest in waxworm. It might not have interest in anything. This Vagans is pretty docile actually. Pretty laid back. It's about 1.25 inches. It's one of those, you know, Vagans are pretty much steamrollers when it comes to food, so if it's not taking this, I'm not going to leave it in there. It doesn't seem to want it, so we're going to go ahead and take it out of there, and we'll try feeding it to the Brachypelma species Bolivia. This just goes to show you how unpredictable slings are. Even though Vagans are pretty good eaters, you just never know. Sometimes they want to eat, sometimes they don't. The angle that I see, it doesn't look pre-molt to me, but it very well could be just the beginnings, and it's just going on. It's normal. I'm not going to eat fast, and so I'd like to get all these little ones out of these deli cups before another molt becomes impending on any of them. So let me get this waxworm out of here before it spooks the spider, and we'll move on. So the Brachypelma species Bolivia. This one's just a little bit too small for that waxworm, so we're going to go with a small cricket. Pretty good eater. This one was a wanderer. Was every time the lid was off, I want to come out kind of a spider, but since its last molt, it's calmed down a little bit. It's a wrestler. It will take pretty much anything. I probably could have fed it that waxworm and it probably would have took it down, but it was just, waxworm's just too much fat for that little guy. This is one of those that'll be with me for the long haul spiders here. I really, really like this one. I did have three. No, you guys saw Salem. Simultaneous Pulcher, my female molt. Last video, I believe I did an update with her. So I think it was her and my versicolor. Since then, I had the Poecilotheria Tigrina Wasseli finally did molt, was unable to sex the molt, and Chindi, the smallest of the Grammostola cyaneopubescens, molted. That's the one that I have in the taller container, and it's acting like a arboreal spider. It lives on top of that log. I'll show you guys towards the end or middle of this video. It's webbed up quite a bit, but since it's molted, it's staying up top. Actually, it stayed up top before too. It's never really gone down any lower. So the experiment is going. I guess it's going. You know, I mean, I kind of document things here and there, but nothing major. So I'm going to try and feed the Grammostola rosea, who hasn't fed the last 2 times I fed, I believe. And then I'm going to pose a question to everybody, just to see what everybody kind of does. It was a question that was posed the other day on one of the sites, and there was a lot of different answers. I'll tell you what I do and what I used to do, and we'll see what everybody else does. Okay, this is the larger of the two Acanthoscuria geniculata. We're going to give this one a waxworm. This will probably lead it right into a molt. There we go. This is pretty sure female. Based on last molt, it looked female. I'm going to come out. You always come out. I guess we're not going to come out. So I was doing some spot checking. I did lose last week the other Brachypelma violacepus. That one died. I don't think I had it wet enough, to be honest with you. I really don't think I kept that one wet enough. It seems to me like I need to spray some of the slings a little bit more than what I do to make sure that they have water and moisture. And that one I failed on, so I'm trying to do a little bit better upkeep, especially with the arboreals. It seems like I struggle a little bit more with the arboreals than I do. Sorry, I almost knocked over everything there. Than I do with the terrestrials. The terrestrials are much more of a hardy type of tarantula, so they're a tad bit more forgiving of mistakes. Last week was a hard week, tough week for me. I got something in my eye at work on Sunday. Had to go to the hospital. I had a scratch on my cornea, and then on the other side of my eye there was a slight ulcer, which led to like a bacterial infection. So I was on eye drops all week, and I don't want to say I was miserable because I went to work every day, but I wasn't really with it all week. It's been an off week for me. You know, you just get in that funk, where you just don't feel yourself, and the things that you normally do, you're not doing as well. Like checking on my spiders, I didn't do as well last week as I normally do. And that's when I found a few molts, and then I found the dead Brachypelma violasepis, and then I just looked in on the Heterothele villicella because I was going to feed her, and she is curling. So I sprayed her web with some water. We'll see how she does. I'm not an ICU fan, but you know, that's one of those when you get to the very end and you have no idea what to do, that's kind of when I do stuff like that. But you can see here, you know, she does this typically though. She likes to bring her food over the water dish. I'm not really quite sure why. Okay, we're going to try feeding the smaller of the two Brachypelma emilias. Well, we'll check that. We're not going to feed this Brachypelma emilia. As you can see, we molted. Didn't gain much size. We'll get some water. But she does look a tad bit bigger. I wasn't expecting a molt. Wasn't really all that long ago that she did. The molt's still pretty pliable, so I would say yesterday. She molted yesterday, probably early, or maybe the night before. No, it was probably yesterday because it was still somewhat soft. A little crinkly, but somewhat soft. So we'll try and feed. Oh no, we fed that one the other day, so we're not feeding that one. Anyway, we'll find out what's next. Okay, here's the Ceratogerus darlingi. This is attempt number 2. Actually, spider's right down in that top right hand hole here. I'm not sure. See, if it wants to come out of me, and it doesn't. Yeah, see, it's coming. Sometimes you gotta tempt this spider a little bit more than. She's got some good size to it. It's acting like it can't feel this waxworm, but It's almost chicken. This one I wouldn't call lazy. It's usually, it'll come out and get its food. Why it's being so secretive right now and just doesn't want to come out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a regular mealworm and put it in front of it, and then we'll try taking that waxworm out. Yeah, there we go. Just wanted to be hand fed, basically. Okay. Alright, I'm not sure how this one's going to go. This is the Ephiopus cyanognathus. Oh, it went right down into the tube and right into the waiting jowls. I shouldn't say jowls. That's not the right word. Right into the fangs of a waiting Ephiopus. So we didn't really catch it. Stuff hard. I really like this setup. The enclosure is really cool. Just that it just like lives right there in the corner. You know, so you really, I mean, I can see it every now and then, but you guys can't see it. See some feet there. Try and. Where's the yellow banding? Okay. Ephiopus cyanognathus, the blue fang. That was a tunnel tumble feeding. Let's get down a few more. Okay, here's the smaller of the two, Canthoscuria geniculata. And hammer. Same thing, right over the water dish. I'll put water in there, and then I'll probably try attacking it. No, just an initial attack. Okay. Next. Okay, so we won't be feeding the Grammostola porteri. The abdomen is plenty big. We'll keep an eye on this bugger. Give it some water. This one also is, it's been a while since this one's eaten, although it is attacking the water. It probably would eat, but it really doesn't need to, so we'll move on to the Brachypelma classy and Brachypelma homori. Okay, here is the middle of the three Brachypelma homoris I have. I don't think that's a good choice. I was going to give it to mealworm, but I don't think that's a good one. Let's see how it does with this one. There we go. How in the name of a 5-minute span do I lose a pair of tweezers? My little tweezers I use to grab the mealworms with are put down somewhere and I'm not sure where. Alright, we're going to get the Brachypelma classy, try a well, maybe we'll try a small waxworm with that one. The Brachypelma classy's underneath a log there. See if it'll be interested in the waxworm. So we'll try to feed the elegans, the Theraphosinus species Panama, the Sazame, Marinus, Brachypelma, and the small Grammostola pulchrites. And then that'll be the end of this, and then the rest of the stuff I'll feed off camera so I can get it done and over with. I have a shed to clean out tonight. Come on, little one. Yeah, took it from the tongs. There he is right there. So we missed that one, so hopefully the rest of them will make up for it. Okay. Next. Okay, this is the smallest of the Grammostola pulchrites. Now we're going to try and find a small mealworm. Oh, it's got some life to it. Yummy, yummy. The Grammostola pulchripes are pretty good feeders. For the most part, they eat almost everything. When they go into a pre-molt, they can be in pre-molt pretty long. They'll usually generally slow down, but this one's eaten right up to molt twice, so ooh, nice fight. This one's name is It, after the book, Stephen King's It. We have It, and we have Cujo, and then we have Annika. Annika is the one that I thought was suspected male, turned out to be female, which was a pretty exciting time for me because they get nice and big, and they don't get huge, bulky like pulchras, but they get decent sized, leggy females, pretty docile. So I think I'm going to work with that one a little bit and see. I'm doing a little bit of handling. I'm going to let it harden up over the course of the next handful of days yet, and try to give it a feed. Okay, we got, it looks like 2 more. I think that's it, 2 more. I don't know if they're going to eat or not, but we're going to give them a shot. Okay. Epropopus marinus, skeleton leg. Gotta find the right one. There's some very, very inactive mealworms. Some very, very inactive mealworms. Oh yeah, you're right there. You're coming up. Let's see if we can tongue feed it. I let go of the worm a little bit too early. Why are you going back down? Take it with you. This is the end of the feeding. I will show you guys Chindi, the Grammostola pubescens that molted. Yeah, we got it, and we're taking it back down, all except his little foot. So Delaney was the last feeding. Some unsuccessful feedings. Was the Sednoctimus brachypelma. Maybe not. see, I put the mealworm in and it didn't move. Apparently I've waited for me to feed the E. marinus because it stole the mealworm and took it down its little burrow. So the Subnoctimus brachyremosa ate. Well, I'm like talking with nothing. I'm not going to say anything anyway, but, and the C. elegans did not eat, nor did the Therapocinae species Panama, nor did the Tarantula sazame, smallest one. So this is the last one of feeding. This video didn't turn out as well as I had hoped it would. So I'll bring Chindi over real quick, and you guys can get a look at what's going on in the enclosure, and then we'll wrap it up, and I'll get this thing uploaded, and I'll finish feeding the ones off camera that I need to feed off camera, like the Darlini babies and stuff. The light's starting to die on this anyway, so okay, let's get Chindi down, and okay, now you can see Chindi likes it up here. I don't like Chindi being up there because it's like, you know, 1/4 of an inch of bolting every time I take the enclosure top off. But actually, we molted up here. I'm pretty sure we molted up there. Yeah, we did molt up there. Because when I took the molt out, we went down there, and that's where it likes to go. Is see what it's done. Okay, again, it's a pretty decent sized enclosure, 6 inches. 5 inches, 5.5 maybe. Decent size, height wise. We haven't done anything down on the ground. Everything's been done right on top of the leaf and along that glued on piece of wood there. So this one has, you know, shown you that GBVs can do pretty much anything. I'm still a staunch advocate that, you know, if given the right circumstance, the sandy, rocky gravel with, you know, what you would imagine the bottom of a bush looking like, the roots of the bush going down into that sandy, rocky substrate, that they will dig. I know they will dig. That's where they come from. That's the environment that they come from, and that's what they do. They don't make these elaborate web tube tunnels up above the ground. They do web above the ground, but they don't generally stay there. They're in the burrows, and then they'll come out at night onto these webs to feed. So that's not a very good shot of her, but don't want to disturb her or him. Unsexable molt. Goodness, we're like all over the place. The light's dying. So, yep, I'm going to go ahead and finish doing my feedings. Get this thing uploaded, charge the battery, take some pictures tonight. I've got a 12-hour day today. I got to go in early again to work. So, everybody have a great day, and we'll see everybody probably, maybe we'll get a couple feedings in by the end of the week, and then we'll have the Sunday question of the week to add on to this stuff, so, or to add on to the question of the week video that I did. Okay, so we'll see everybody soon, and thanks. We'll talk to everybody real quick.